Hello and welcome to another tier list video. Today we are taking a look at ice cream flavors. Now, clearly I don't have every single ice cream flavor on this list because if I did, this video would be 100 hours long. And also I haven't tried that many ice cream flavors, so these are just the ones that I feel like I've tried at least a handful of times, and I can give a pretty good ranking based on, how much do I like this flavor of ice cream. So starting us off, we have vanilla. This is the classic staple ice cream flavor. Now, if I'm gonna eat just plain ice cream, I probably won't go for vanilla because, like vanilla is a synonym for kind of plain at this point. Vanilla doesn't really have too much going on, but I think vanilla ice cream can be really good if you're adding some stuff to it, like if you're adding some ingredients, like some candy, sprinkles, whatever, to vanilla. I think that's pretty good. Or if you're using vanilla ice cream, like in another dessert, I think that's really good. Plain vanilla ice cream on its own isn't the best, but it definitely is the most versatile ice cream flavor in my opinion, because it just goes so well with so many different things, and it's kind of the base you want to use if you are going to be adding some crazy things to your ice cream. So vanilla, eating it plain, not the best, but definitely the most versatile, and for that reason going to find itself up in the A tier for me. Up next we have chocolate ice cream. Now chocolate, pretty similar to vanilla, not a whole lot going on flavor-wise, but if you like chocolate, you might want to use chocolate as your base for, your ice cream concoction, whatever you're going to whip up. For me, I'm not really as huge of a fan of chocolate as I am vanilla, especially if I'm going to eat a plain ice cream. I would almost never go for chocolate just because I'm not a huge chocolatey person, so chocolate, definitely still versatile. You can use it in other desserts like you can vanilla, but for me, it just doesn't quite fit that niche quite as well as vanilla does, and flavor-wise, I'm just not quite as big of a fan, so chocolate, it's still good, but for me, not the best. Only going to find itself in the C tier. Up next, we have strawberry. A bit of a fruitier ice cream flavor, and this one, I definitely would not add other things. I think if you're mixing stuff with strawberry ice cream, you're going to get some really weird flavors, but I think strawberry ice cream on its own is pretty good. I like strawberries, I like strawberry flavored things, and strawberry ice cream as a plain ice cream, for me, it's pretty good. Not always going to be the one I'm going to go for right away, but still a pretty solid choice, and it's going to find itself up in the B tier. Up next, we have peach. Similar to strawberry, another fruity flavored ice cream. Now, strangely, I'm not a huge fan of peaches as a fruit. I like peaches, but I don't love them. I'd almost never really go for them at the grocery store. But peach flavored things I do tend to really like, actually, and peach flavored ice cream is also one of those. I think peach flavored ice cream is really good, probably one of my favorite fruit flavored ice creams to go with. And overall, just a really solid choice, and definitely one I like to eat just plain, so it's going to find itself up in the A tier. Up next, we have mangoes. Now, mangoes are one where I'm not a huge mango fan fruit-wise, nor am I a huge mango-flavored person. I know I have some friends who absolutely love mango-flavored things, and they will fight me over this, but I'm not a huge fan of mango-flavored things, and for me, it's only going to find itself in the C tier. Definitely not repulsive. I mean, I would still eat mango-flavored ice cream, but not going to be one of my first choices for sure. Up next, we have the Dreamsicle ice cream. This is obviously a very orange-flavored ice cream. And overall, I think this one is pretty good. I used to absolutely love Dreamsicles, and just orange-flavored ice cream in general. It was definitely my favorite as a kid growing up. But I think I almost had too much of it when I was younger, and I don't quite like it as much as I used to. So it's only going to find itself in the C tier as well. Up next, we have cherry ice cream. Now, for those of you who have seen my other tier list where I talk about cherry-flavored things, you'll know that I really don't like cherries, and I don't like cherry-flavored things. So cherry-flavored ice cream, it's kind of the same. Not a fan of it. It's going to find itself down in the D tier as well. Again, not quite F tier because I don't hate it. I would still eat it, but definitely going to be one of my last choices for ice cream on this list. Up next, we have peanut butter. Now, I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter-flavored things, and peanut butter ice cream is no different. Definitely one of my favorite, just kind of standard ice cream flavors, and it's going to find itself up in the S tier for me. Up next, we have pistachio ice cream. Now, this one is a bit more of a unique flavor because, pistachios being nuts, not really something you think of as flavoring an ice cream. Like, you don't really think of, like, almond-flavored ice cream. Or cashew-flavored ice cream, maybe. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, and, if you like it, more power to you, but pistachio is definitely a pretty unique flavor if you ask me, and I find that people who like pistachio ice cream really, really like pistachio ice cream, and it's like their favorite by far, and people who don't like it really don't like it. Although that being said, I'm kind of somebody who finds himself in the middle of the road. I love pistachios. I think pistachio ice cream is good. It's not anything crazy, but it is unique, and sometimes if I'm feeling something, you know, a little bit different for the ice cream flavor, I will go for pistachio ice cream flavor here and there. So it's still going to find itself up in the B tier. Up next, we have birthday cake ice cream. Now, a lot of these flavors on this list I've tried at a place called Nelson's Ice Cream in Minnesota. If you've been there, let me know in the comments what your favorite flavor from there is, because Nelson's Ice Cream is a great ice cream place. And they give you huge portions. You get a single scoop of ice cream from Nelson's Ice Cream, and that might be enough to fill you up, because their scoops are giant. And they have a lot of unique flavors, and birthday cake is one of them. I don't know exactly what it is. I think they use a vanilla base, and then there's sprinkles in there. And there's a few other things they throw in as well, but birthday cake ice cream, just super good. Definitely one of my favorite flavors from that place, and it's going to find itself up in the S tier as well. Up next, we have cheesecake. Now, cheesecake as a dessert, I absolutely love it. It is probably one of my favorite desserts to have. Strawberry cheesecake ice cream, still really good. Not quite as good as regular strawberry cheesecake, but I will say cheesecake ice cream, still a solid choice, and going to find itself up in the A tier as well. Up next, we have the bubblegum ice cream. Now, I have no idea what flavors go into this one. I know they use like blue raspberry and a couple other things. But this one is delicious. Definitely another one of my favorite ice cream flavors. Another one I've tried at Nelson's Ice Cream. And bubblegum ice cream, if you haven't tried it, if it's available near you, give it a try. Definitely a fantastic flavor, and it's going to find itself up in the S tier. Up next, we have mint chip. Now, I think mint ice cream is pretty good, but I really have to be craving it because mint is a pretty unique and strong flavor. It's kind of like overpowers the ice cream flavor, I feel. So I really have to be craving something minty. If it's a really hot day, I think mint chip is a really good choice. There's something about mint ice cream on a hot day that is just more refreshing than other flavors. You know, I find that other flavors, sometimes they're like too sweet that it's not really, you know, refreshing and cooling on a hot day, but mint chip is definitely one of those. With that in mind, if it's not too hot of a day, I'm usually not craving mint chip. So it's not my favorite, but still a pretty solid choice, and it's going to find itself up in the B tier. Up next, we have coffee flavored ice cream. Now, coffee flavored ice cream, I mean, if you like coffee, you probably like coffee flavored ice cream. I'm not a huge coffee drinker myself. I like it, I drink it here and there. I just don't do it a lot. And I'm kind of the same way with coffee ice cream. I'll have it here or there, but it's usually not something that I would order first. But overall, coffee ice cream, I still think it tastes pretty good, and it's going to find itself in the B tier. Up next, we have Neapolitan, which is a fancy name for something that is not that fancy, because Neapolitan is just vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate in like one scoop, as you can see in the picture. And in my opinion, it's kind of a garbage combination. Like I talked about earlier, I don't think that strawberry ice cream mixes well with other flavors. I think vanilla and chocolate mix pretty well. Vanilla and strawberry mix pretty well. But vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry do not mix very well. And Neapolitan, it's like, because they don't mix well, you kind of have to eat them separately. So it's like, oh, I'm just eating vanilla, and then I'm just eating strawberry, and then I'm just eating chocolate. Where it's like, usually you probably like one of the three more than the others, so why not just order that one? So Neapolitan, I'm sorry to Neapolitan fans out there, but I gotta put this one in the F tier. Because I would just never order this, because, you know, even if I wanted multiple flavors like vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, I would just order like a small scoop of each individual so that they don't mix. But Neapolitan, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but I'm sorry, it's not. I'm not a fan of Neapolitan, gotta leave it in the F tier. Up next, we have Moose Tracks, which is another really good one. I believe they use vanilla ice cream, and then there's like peanut butter cups and little like chunks of fudge in there. And that is really good. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of peanut butter, so you put peanut butter cups in ice cream, that's going to work well. The fudge also works well, and using vanilla ice cream as a base to mix that all together, it just comes together really well. Moose Tracks, really have nothing negative to say about this one, just a really solid choice, and it's going to find itself very solidly in the A tier. Up next, we have Superman ice cream. Now, this is another one I've tried at Nelson's Ice Cream. And to be honest, I have no idea what flavors go into this one. People speculate all the time. I think there's like blue raspberry, maybe like bubblegum, strawberry. I think there's banana in there. There's a lot of different flavors. And honestly, somehow it all works together. Like there's so much going on in the Superman ice cream. I mean, you can even see the colors. All those colors are like different flavors. And normally, I'm a little bit skeptical when you're mixing that many flavors, especially like ice cream flavors. But for some reason, it just works, and Superman ice cream is delicious. If they have it near you, I haven't really seen it many places outside of the Midwest, but if you have the opportunity to try it, definitely give it a try. Highly recommend this one. Gonna be another S tier for me. Up next, we have cotton candy ice cream. Now, cotton candy ice cream is kind of unique for me because cotton candy, I think it's good, but it's not really the best. It's kind of just, aerated sugar, so I'm not a huge cotton candy fan. But cotton candy ice cream, I do think works really well. You get that distinct cotton candy flavor, but then in ice cream, it just works. I don't know what it is, but cotton candy ice cream, I'm a huge fan. I'm a big fan of the cotton candy blizzards at Dairy Queen as well, so cotton candy ice cream is no different. Gonna be a solid A tier for me. Up next, we have coconut. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of coconut, like the pulp coconut itself, but coconut ice cream, I don't really think it's too bad, actually. I was really skeptical when I first tried it. I didn't think I was gonna like it at all, but one of my friends ordered some coconut ice cream, and I tried it. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good. I was impressed because, like I said, I'm not a fan of coconuts themselves, but coconut ice cream, it's alright. It's gonna find itself in the B tier. Up next, we have another fruity flavored ice cream, which is grape. I've always been a big fan of, grape candy, grape ice cream, grape flavored things. Grape is just a really solid flavor for a lot of different sweet things in my opinion, and ice cream is really no different. It doesn't blow me away, but sometimes if I'm feeling something really sweet for ice cream, I'll go for grape. I think it's a pretty solid choice, and it's going to find itself up in the A tier. Up next, we have cookies and cream. I mean, this is just another great one. If you like Oreos, you like the frosting stuff, you'll probably like cookies and cream. That's pretty much what this flavor usually is. Sometimes they might be doing something really different, but typically I found that's kind of what you can expect. And if that's what you like cookies and cream. I do as well. Definitely a solid A tier for me. Up next, we have chocolate chip ice cream. Now this one is a pretty common flavor, but it's a bit standard for me. It's usually they just do vanilla. Sometimes they do chocolate, but usually vanilla and then just have some chocolate chips in there. If you're looking for something that's not really too crazy, not too adventurous, this is a solid choice. But for me, chocolate chip, it's really just not quite doing enough in the ice cream department. So it's a solid choice, but it's not fantastic, and it's only going to find itself in the C tier for me. Up next, we have chocolate chip cookie dough. Now this, for me, is pretty much just like 2 steps above chocolate chip, because chocolate chip, sure, it's good, but it's not great. But when you mix in that cookie dough, that's when it really comes to life. You get a bite of ice cream with the vanilla ice cream, and you got the chocolate chips, and you got the cookie dough all in one bite. I mean, that is just fantastic. Absolutely love that. It's definitely going to be a very solid S tier. Not quite S tier for me, a very solid A tier. But chocolate chip cookie dough, definitely a great flavor that I go to quite a lot, actually. Up next, we have butter pecan. This one, if you like pecans and you like more of like a buttery flavor in your ice cream, you'll probably like this one. I mean, the name pretty much fits, I would say, butter pecan. And overall, I think it's a pretty solid ice cream flavor. I used to have this one a lot when I was younger. Haven't had it quite as much recently, but butter pecan, overall, just a pretty solid flavor. Not one, like I said, not one I really go to too frequently anymore, but still a solid flavor, and it'll find itself up in the B tier. Up next, we have Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Ice Cream. This is another classic for me. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard at Dairy Queen, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Ice Cream, pretty much the same thing. Definitely a solid flavor. Like I said, I like peanut butter, and peanut butter, chocolate, and vanilla ice cream just always mix pretty well. For me, this is going to be another A tier. Well, that's my list. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed.